I found a few videos of an old project that I never edited together, so I thought there was no harm in giving it a go. Back when Lily and I moved into our first apartment, one of my random indulgences was to buy a ridiculously expensive toaster in this nice blue colour. I couldn't find a pepper mill that matched, so I decided to buy the cheapest colour they did have, and I threw a quick coat of paint over it from a rattle can. This held up alright, but after about a decade and a half it was starting to look pretty nasty, so I decided it was time to strip it back and redo it. I put some paint stripper on it and was surprised that it didn't take the original colour off underneath it. I guess it must have been powder coated or something. I didn't know you could do that with wood. But I did leave some scratches behind on it when I stripped the blue paint off, so I ended up scraping off all of the pink colour from underneath. This did scrape off alright. I managed to cobble together a novel way of sanding it down smooth despite not having a lathe, or a workshop for that matter. I guess this was a good example of the tiny projects that I always wished I had a little bit of scrap wood for and never did. In hindsight, I should have put a bigger bolt on the other side to hold it together, but what I did worked anyway. Once both pieces were smoothed out adequately, it was time to give it a bit of paint. I had recently got my tiny air compressor and I decided to use that to do the job. I was hoping the paint would be a bit more robust than the rattle can I used before. And the job turned out really nicely. It's now been 4 years since I did that paint job, and it still looks just as good as it did when it was fresh. It's a shame I didn't get the blue quite right to match the toaster, but maybe it'll need another respray in another decade, and I can have another shot then. Thanks for watching.